Hello everyone, welcome back to Code Skwela, and now I will give another status update on this Blazor Point-of-Sale project. But before I do that, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to get updated with our latest videos. Okay, so now with this one, I have already completed the three important sections of this application. So basically, we have the three base functions or features that we need for this one to prior to actually working on the main feature, which is the actual point of sale, which is this one. Okay, so what I did here is that I've already done uh, functions for customers, vendors, and products. So let's just go through each of them. So with customers, it's a very basic page for now. So it has again the main functions for each. So you have adding a customer, editing a customer, deleting a customer, and finding of customers. Okay, so this one is very basic. So with this one, I did not add any pagination since yeah we're working on a very small number of data, but probably as an exercise on your end, maybe you can add that one. Uh, so you can try this out for either customers, vendors, or products. Okay, so with this one, if you add a customer, uses this dialog box to receive an input, which is basically just a single field, which is name. Okay, and then you can also edit by clicking on the name like this one. Okay, and you can also delete, which has this confirmation dialog box. Okay, and then you can also search by name. Okay, so let's say you search by customer name John. If you click on find, then it will filter out the customer's data based on the customer name. So that's very simple. Okay, with the code behind it, let's inspect it clearly. So we have the customers.razor page here. So this is the actual file, and yeah, nothing changed much here, but the only thing is that I've hooked up the different methods for each of the functions. So on initialize, you have this get customers method that would query or grab all of our customers data. So basically you have this uh, section of code here where we grab the context, the DB context, and then from there simply calling to list async for our customers page. I mean customers data. So with this one, we've hooked up initially is to just like we did with the product categories. Of course, you'll have to set up the entities for each of these features. So the uh, three additional entities were added. So we have your customer for the customers page. Then you have your vendor, which is again very simple class, and then you have your product. All right. So now going back to our page here, so this pattern is being followed the same thing. Also for the vendors, if you see this, that the vendors much like exactly functions as the one on the customers. And then you have the products page wherein it has a bit of fields in it, but yeah, basically it does the same stuff. Like when you add one, it uses the dialog box, so you can choose from the main category, right? And then it also has validation on its end. If you don't select one, then it will require you to choose one. Okay, then you can just click save, right? So aside from that, let's just yeah navigate through all of this section here, right? Just to look at the data. Now, where did I get this initial data? Again, going back to our code here in the application DB context, this is where all of the seeding or the initializing of our initial data is being configured. So I have a set of seeding methods here that uses the use seeding and use seeding async. Now you'll have to, ideally you'll have to implement both, either use seeding and use async seeding. So for the product categories, they are, as I think I forgot to cover this one on my first status update video. So I've just taken the data from our Excel file here, which comes from here, and then just added it individually here. All right. So same thing with the customers, just we have very small number of data. You have the seed for the customers here, and then you have seed initialization for the vendors. Okay. And then you have the products. So with the products seeding, I did this a bit differently. Okay. So with the seed data for the products, if you look at the original Excel template, it has quite a lot of data in here. Okay. So it has around like 600 plus records for the products. Now, we can't be individually adding them here on our seed method. So what I did was I took this one, copied this one, and then turned it into a CSV file. Okay. So now the CSV file is I've added it here under the data folder. So this is now the converted uh, sheet data from here into a CSV file. Okay. Now it has headers on top so that we can use this as uh, a way of determining what to serialize. Okay, so converting from reading from the CSV file to our uh, entities. So what I did with here is that I've used the CSV helper library to uh, read from the CSV file. So initially what I did was I've added this simple console application, this named CSV test, and then tested out the CSV helper library. So with this one, all you need to do is just add this as a NuGet package, okay? And then from there, you can just easily use the CSV reader like this. So this is one is just a test. So I've mapped this to a class, which is this one, okay? It's very simple, reading from the format of our CSV file, okay? So it does the same properties as our CSV file headers, okay? So coming from that, once I've tested that it works fine, then I've used that one in our seeding. So going back to our application DB context, I have added a small method here that would read from our CSV file, okay? And then from there, we would instantiate each of the CSV file record as a product entity, which would be returned as a list of entity products, okay? So yeah, so basically using the same thing that I did on the test console test app, but uh, adding additional logic to especially if we want to map the category from the CSV file to our exact category ID on our product, because here as you can see the original data has this, the category is only set as a strings, okay? So category and subcategory are strings, so we'll have to map that correctly so that we get the correct category ID being assigned to our product entity, okay? So once we've done that, all we need to do after that is just load it up or add each of the serialized product from the CSV file into uh, our context. Okay, in this case, I've added it to our simply by just adding an add range instead of looping through and adding each product individually. Okay, so you can just easily call add range to sort of like a bulk adding of records or data. So after that, just call save changes or save changes async for the use async seeding, and that should uh, uh, fill out or uh, fill or what do you call that? Uh, add all of those records in your database. So if we inspect the database, this is the database now. So after the update database command for our migration, then as you can see, all of that data has been added to our SQLite database table. Okay, so all of that has been correctly mapped, including the category ID. which means that when you run this application, you can just edit and it would correctly match the main category and then subcategories. So for these two uh, fields, I've used the mod select component, okay, to map each of these fields for the main category and then the subcategory. All right. I think that yeah, that's basically what I have for this one. So the next thing that we will do for the next status update would be I'll be working on this act main point of sale page, so that uh, once we completed that, then we can actually do the adding of the items in itself, coming from either selecting an SKU or using the uh, navigation or the buttons on the right side. Okay, so this could this could take me a while, but depending on my availability and spare time, then hopefully I should get this completed in the next few days. And after that, I'll uh, do another status report, and then after that, the entire complete build process is what I'll be doing and push out that video. Okay, anytime soon. So okay, so please stay tuned, and yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you get updated with our latest episodes. And yeah, I think that wraps up my status update for this one, and uh, hope to see you soon and have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone, and bye.